Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Thursday, October 7th. Thank you for being here with me for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. Remember, to start the week, the conversation was a lot around the Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield and why he had so many missed connections in that win over the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. Well, now today we are learning that he has in fact been playing with a torn labrum since playing the Houston Texans. That was in week 2. That's according to multiple reports, and also that he will not be requiring surgery at this time. Now, it happened to his left shoulder, not his throwing shoulder, when he was trying to make a tackle after an interception in the win over Houston. After the game, Baker Mayfield, if you remember, said that his shoulder just kind of popped out and then popped back in. Since then, he has been wearing a harness on his left shoulder, but he has continued to say that it hasn't impacted his throwing ability. So he says that's not what the issue was when it comes to the missed connections between Baker Mayfield and the people he was targeting for passes in the win against the Vikings on Sunday. People asked him how his shoulder was, and he says, "It's attached. I'm all right." That was in a post-game press conference on Sunday. He said, "It's my left shoulder. I throw with my right." Here's hoping that gets taken care of and healed up quickly for Baker Mayfield. But if you ask Odell Beckham Jr., maybe not in the cards for it to get healed up quickly, because OBJ says that he can relate to that because he's been dealing with the torn labrum for 10 years. And he says, yeah, it hurts really bad. He says it dates back to his days at LSU. But he also said, OBJ said he doesn't really care to talk about injuries, but he's had a torn labrum since college. He said when it comes to Baker Mayfield, yeah, it's the same thing that OBJ has, and he's just going to go out and play football. He was talking about himself when he said that, but he was also kind of talking about Baker Mayfield. Now, OBJ said he's not going to have surgery himself either for the procedure because he is done being on the surgery table. Now, talking about Baker Mayfield, he said, yeah, he's playing through the pain, and he praised him. He said, that hurts. He had some extra words in there, but he said, that hurts. He says he's tough. It doesn't feel good. He's not going to sit there and complain about it. He's just going to go out and play. I know it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Here's hoping that offensive line can give some protection to Baker Mayfield so we don't further aggravate that injury on the left shoulder, because, yeah, it is not his throwing shoulder, but it is still an important appendage for a quarterback, especially for a quarterback who we would like to see continue to play for the Cleveland Browns, who are now 3-1 as they head into the game on Sunday against the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, today will be kind of a historic day here in Cleveland because Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson will be giving his final State of the City address. He has been the mayor in Cleveland for an unprecedented 16 years, decided not to run for re-election. So today is the day he gives that final State of the City address. Here's what he said. He said, "This is my last State of the City address, and I look forward to speaking directly with residents, not only about the past year, but also my vision for the future of this city." And he will be playing, it remains to be seen what role he'll be playing in the future of the city here in Cleveland, but it won't be as mayor. Here's what we can expect to hear from him, though, in that State of the City address this evening. He wants to talk about sound fiscal management, fostering an environment that promotes job retention, job creation, and investment, developing a regional economy and cooperation, providing educational excellence for children, and safety, something that is the top of everyone's minds and very important to the people of Cleveland. So tonight, that event will be held at the Cleveland Public Auditorium. It does start at 5:30. It will be streamed live on WKYC.com, so you'll be able to see it there. The mayor will not be taking questions after this State of the City address, but he will have a virtual post event. That'll be tomorrow at 11 a.m. to talk about the speech. Now, again, as a reminder, Frank Jackson, been the mayor of Cleveland for 16 years, but that ends very soon. The election in November will be between Justin Bibb and Kevin Kelly, and one of those two people will be the next mayor of Cleveland. Here's an update that people with student loans will definitely want to know about. The Department of Education is announcing changes to sort of wipe out some of the people's student loans who were part of the student loan forgiveness program, who maybe hit some snags, hit some red tape, had some filing issues, and weren't able to take advantage of something that they actually do qualify for. So our Sarah Schuchman talked with Megan Landress. She's a certified student loan professional with Student Loan Planner. She said these changes will speed up the forgiveness clock, where people could actually get forgiveness today that they thought they had qualified for years ago. Now, the new changes to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program are said to help about 500,000 workers, 550,000 people. It's PSLF is what it is for short. And the way this works is after 10 years of monthly payments, if you are working in a public service industry for your full-time job, like you're a teacher, a police officer, a member of the military, or you work at a nonprofit organization, potentially a hospital, then your loans will be considered paid off. But since this program started back in 2007, it has had a 98% rejection rate. Flip that on its head, that's a 2% approval rate for the people who have entered this public service sector, thought they were going to get those student loans forgiven, but didn't. An example is one woman, a nurse. She had applied, but didn't qualify, or her application didn't go through because of the type of loan she had, but she's been working as a nurse for 15 years. That's one of those public service occupations. So now she'll be able to take a look back, see if she can do something to tweak that, figure out the loan situation, having made those qualifying payments for 15 years, and she'll have some time to see if she can't get that student loan forgiveness. This window where people can sort of right these wrongs lasts until October 31st, 2022. So a little over a year now for people to get these things ironed out, and now borrowers have this temporary opportunity to right some of those mistakes. Now, every day we've been giving you the COVID-19 numbers. Today they're coming in a little late. So to get those latest COVID-19 numbers from the Ohio Department of Health, go ahead and head to WKYC.com. It'll also be in each of our broadcasts tonight. You can check out there to get those latest numbers. But now we pivot back to the sports world, sort of. We're talking about a pretty serious criminal fraud scheme that a lot of NBA players, a lot of ex-NBA players are being accused of, including some people here from Northeast Ohio, a lot of former Cleveland Cavaliers. 18 ex-NBA players have been charged in a $4 million healthcare fraud scheme. They are charged with defrauding the league's health and welfare benefit plan. The indictment, the federal indictment, says that the players turned in false and fraudulent claims for reimbursement for medical and dental expenses that they never actually paid. And this was carried out from 2017 to 2020. The person who is accused of being sort of the ringleader of all of this is Terrence Williams. He started his career as a first-round NBA draft pick in 2019. He's accused of submitting $19,000 in fraudulent claims to the plan in November of 2017 for chiropractic care. And those claims led to an almost $8,000 payout for Williams. Well, the indictment then says that he recruited other former NBA players to defraud that plan. He offered to provide fake invoices from a chiropractor and a dentist in Southern California and a wellness office in Washington State to these players. At least 10 of the ex-players paid kickbacks, according to this indictment, allegedly, of about $230,000 to Williams. And a lawyer who has represented Williams in the past did decline to comment. The former Cavaliers that are accused of being involved in this: Jamario Moon, Shannon Brown, Darius Miles, Sebastian Telfair, and Milt Palacio. And a Northeast Ohio native also accused. He didn't play for the Cavs, but Ruben Patterson. So because he's from the Northeast Ohio area, he'll actually be tried in federal court here in the Northern District of Ohio. By late morning today, 16 of the defendants were in custody. There are 19 total defendants in this case, 18 of them ex-NBA players. And as you can just see there, Jamario Moon, Shannon Brown, Darius Miles, Sebastian Telfair, Milt Palacio, 5 of those former Cleveland Cavaliers, 1 of them Ruben Patterson, and Northeast Ohio native. So 6 out of those 18 people, 19 total people, 18 players, have ties here to Northeast Ohio. Heading a little further south in Ohio, the Columbus Zoo will be appealing its denial of accreditation by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. The people who are currently running the Columbus Zoo are very unhappy about being denied this accreditation. They say it has to do with past bad actors, but they were denied in a vote on October 1st for failing to uphold its standards. This is after having been accredited for more than 40 years. Now, the AZA cited an investigation that's ongoing into the misuse of funds at the Columbus Zoo, as well as recently surfaced reports of international animals being transferred to the area for entertainment purposes, which obviously is something that the AZA does not look kindly upon. It was back in March that the Columbus Dispatch first reported 4 zoo officials, including former president and CEO Tom Stolf and CFO Greg Bell, misused zoo resources to the tune of about $630,000. That's what the zoo is believed to have lost because of their misuse. That investigation between the 4 officials later found that out. Now, a state of Ohio investigation remains underway, but the other part of the issue with the accreditation has to do with the zoo's former longtime director, Jack Hanna. There's a new film that's come out, The Conservation Game, and it claims that Hannah and the Columbus Zoo had ties to the big cat trade across the country. So in July, the zoo cut ties with certain animal organizations that were mentioned in the film. But according to AZA, too little too late. But again, the Columbus Zoo is appealing that decision not to accredit the Columbus Zoo within the AZA. And as you know, each week we do give you your good news break. I want to give you a little bit more detail about one of those stories in this week's episode of It's All Good News. It has to do with former 3 News digital producer Stephanie Metzger and her new husband, former longtime boyfriend, Patrick Lawrence. They got married in Greece for the first time, and then they got officially married here in University Heights on September 24th. Well, this was after their wedding plans were delayed for about a year because of COVID-19. But did you know if you get married in the University Heights suburb of Cleveland, you can have your wedding date officially proclaimed in your honor? It's true, you can. That's what Stephanie and Patrick did. So September 24th, 2021 is now officially in University Heights, Stephanie Metzger and Patrick Lawrence Day. That's just incredible to me. That blew my mind. So when I saw her posting about this online, I reached out to her. I said, Stephanie, do they do this for everyone? And she said, yep, they do, because in University Heights, they only have about 13,000 residents. So they have the days available to make your specific wedding day proclaimed in your honor. How about that? I thought that's very cool, and I had to share that with people. So if you want to get married in University Heights, you can have your wedding day declared an official date in honor of your wedding. I think that's a great idea. And congratulations to Stephanie and Patrick. Beautiful wedding, by the way. If you want to see it, we've got some photos up on WKYC.com. And can I just say, her dresses, incredible. And her photos from Greece, incredible. It is a must-see. Go to WKYC.com and check it out. And that is it for your 3 News Now update today for Thursday, October 7th. I'll see you back here tomorrow with more 3 News Now.